everyone, and welcome to Lying Around Connecticut with Carol and Harry. I am Carol Kearns. My husband Harry Shue is our co-host. Our mission for the show is twofold: to provide information about Connecticut Lions events and to showcase the many different organizations and causes that Lions support locally, regionally, and internationally. Harry?
Good evening and welcome. Please consult our website at www.lions23b.org or your district spirit for more information on coming events.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Lying Around Connecticut with Carol and Harry.
We're back for part 2 of the International Director Candidate Forum for Multiple District 23, which was held at the Middletown Senior Center on September 9th, 2017. Our two candidates, past council chairs Sia Dolachahi and past council chair Mark Lyon.
Which of the 4 areas of focus and strategic initiatives of LCI's forward program do you think are most critical to the future of growth of our association?
I believe all 4 areas of focus are extremely important. Lions Club International came up with the idea back in 2015. We want to serve and improve lives of 200 million people by year 2020-21. In order to do that, these are the areas we need to focus. Number 1, bring more value to our members. Number 2, have a strategic plan for recruiting or attracting the new generation. Number 3, extending the service that we provide. And number 4 is to develop leaders, basically to replace us. I believe all 4 areas are extremely important. If I have to focus on one of them, I would pick the marketing strategy. It is extremely important because now we have a new generation. What do we always say? We want to bring more members, but we want to bring younger members, right? How do we attract them? What do they always do? You see them with the cell phone in their hand. If you walk into the restaurant, you see 4 of them are sitting right around the table. They all have their cell phones. They're all looking at the cell phone. They're not talking to each other. In fact, they think they're texting each other. So Lions Club International came up with the idea of adding or bringing a new app, which they introduced us at our last convention. Well, that is a great thing, but we have millions of different apps out. How we need to attract the young people to come up with the signature project. A signature project, I believe, is diabetes awareness and education. Again, having somebody from your club contact the leaders in your community, telling them this is what we're going to do. We would like to offer 1 hour free seminar about diabetes awareness and education. And then invite some of the doctors. We work with the Connecticut Lions Eye Research Foundation. We've got so many doctors at the Yukon Health Center. They would love to come to that meeting and do the seminar for you. That's what I think it works. And that's what I believe what's important and to get to the next level. Together, we can see other possibilities.
So the LCI Forward campaign is in full swing, and again, trying to address the needs of 200 million people in a year. It's a huge, huge undertaking. I'm going to focus on the element that deals with public policy and getting new service ideas out there. And there's one specific area that I do want to focus on because it's a passion of mine too, and it deals with Lions advocacy. Lions advocacy program has been really important over the years, and if you look back in May of this year, a Senate resolution was read before Congress, which congratulated the Lions on 100 years of service in its centennial year, and it gave a list of check by check of the major activities and events that Lions have been responsible for in over 100 years. Some of which we know about, some of which were new to me on the calendar, but really, really important dates. that lions are responsible for doing. So having this kind of a report that was entered in Congress is really a wonderful thing. And we need to keep pursuing that. Because we talk about membership and all the other issues of lionism that we're going to be concerned about on the International Board, getting our names out there is critically important. Not just in our clubs, because we're going to do that. And our leadership, our district governors and our leadership teams locally are going to continue to push the international program through to them. But on the International Board level, this advocacy program needs to continue to develop and be nurtured. They have something that's called Hill Day, where they invite various lions to come in and meet with congressmen and senators to talk about what's going on in Lions. You know, what's critically important for the Lions Association moving forward. It's how we got the coin approved. It's how we got the Volunteer Opportunities Protection Act worked through the system. I don't even know where that is now. I'll look at that. It's floating, typical. But those are the kind of things that we need to talk about and the things that we need to advocate for as Lions and on our International Board. And it goes beyond just the US directors as well, because there are Lions that represent other parts of the world that also need to appear in front of their government leaders to tell them what good works Lions are doing. Go back to the idea of membership expanding in China and other parts of Asia. You know, Lions need to learn that they have a voice and that they should go and have access to leadership. It may be harder in different parts of the world, but it's an option that's available to them. They need to talk about Lionism and the work that we do. How else can we bring in the tent city in Haiti when they have earthquakes and hurricanes, when they have earthquakes in central parts of China, and they let the Lions come in and do that? Only through these advocacy programs can we continue to be recognized around the world, and that's an area that I think is really critically important for the LCI Forward program.
You know, Mark, you have to come up with a slogan. I'll see if I can help you with
Mark my words.
Back to line. Back to line fire. What is your vision of what you can achieve in the position of international director?
Great question. Vision is what we're all about. I mean, that's our purpose in being Lions. The vision that I am going to focus on really deals with what our leadership principles for our international directors is all about. And there are 4 key elements to that. You have to be prepared, right? You have to participate, you have to make decisions, and you have to lead. Those are the 4 elements of being an international director. Those are the 4 elements that you have to be focused on in everything that you're doing serving on our international board. That's the vision that you need to carry with you every day. So if you're not prepared, if you're not doing your homework and doing the reading that has to be done to learn about what the committees are doing, to learn about what the board is up to learn what's going on out in the communities, the grassroots Lions clubs, if you're not prepared with that, you're not going to be serving our international board in the way that you've been asked to serve. You need to participate in the process. International directors are not going to just sit there idly by and wait for something to happen. They need to be proactive with everything that they're being given to learn about. So you need to study and you need to be ready to talk about the activities that are going on at the international level. Even if it's way beyond the scope of what you're used to here in the United States, you're there to serve our international association of 1.4 million Lions. So you have to think outside the box a little bit. Even if it might vary from the way you're thinking, you still have to have an open mind for that. So you have to participate in the process. The third item is decision making. You can't be afraid to make decisions. And again, you have to look at the global community that we're a part of. Our association is going to be making decisions for people in 200 countries around the world. You know, for 750 districts around the world. Really critical issues of judgment that have to be looked on in the big picture that may, again, go against the grain of what we're taught here in the US and even in our multiple districts. But you have to think outside the box in a lot of ways with respect to your decision making. And you can't be afraid. You can't skirt the issues. You've got to focus on what has to be done because you're given a very short time. 2 years is a short term. And you're out on the road a lot anyway. So you only have 4 board meetings a year to make those things happen. And you know, you're reading on airplanes, you're reading in the car. Lynn will be reading things to me, you know, and you know, we're just trying to imagine how other people have done that and be ready for that. So that decision-making part is very, very critical. And finally, and maybe most importantly, you have to lead. You have to show people that you're willing to take a stand for something. You have to show that you have a passion for what you're doing. You have to show that you're giving yourself the education that you need to make a wise choice for all of us. Not just for yourself, not just for your district or your multiple districts, but for all of Lions. And sometimes that's the hardest decision you have to make. So that's my vision for Lions.
Since 2010, when I was a district governor, became a district governor, I have been thinking about our membership throughout the world. I've been looking at the numbers going up, going down. It was playing around 1.4 million. And I said to myself, there is no reason why we cannot be 2 million members, why we cannot be 2.5 million members. I looked around and I saw the incredible resources that we have available to us. We have had our past United States President as a member of the Lions Club, President Carter. In our own backyard, we had Governor Rell as a member of a local Lions Club. Did we ever sit down and talk to them, brainstorm with them? And now, here we are, working with the Bill Gates Foundation, the richest man in the world, and by the way, the most generous man in the world. He's been giving billions of dollars every year to different organizations. Finally, he worked with us, started working with us. He told us he wanted to work with the Measles Initiative. For every $2 you're going to make, I'm going to give you $1 up to $10 million. We did the $10 million. They gave us $5 million. They loved the work we did, so they came back and they told us, now we want you to raise $30 million. We're going to match dollar for dollar. Here's what I'm thinking. Now it's the time that I like to get the opportunity to sit down with the Bill Gates Foundation, brainstorm with them, telling them that we loved working with you. We have been doing a great job. We have vaccinated 40 million children in Africa, and we love to continue working with you. We need your help. This is what we need. We need to be on Good Morning America. We need 10 minutes of interview. We need to be in 60 Minutes for 10 minutes. This is what we need. I know this isn't thinking it's out of the box. But this is extremely important, and we can do it. We have talked to actually Bill Gates' father back in Seattle in 2011. He was the speaker. So we have that opportunity to sit down and talk to them, and that's my vision. And I believe I can do it if you give me the chance. Send me to international. Together, we can always see the possibility.
The next couple questions that we have are from the Lions of our multiple district. We have two of them. And I think this is where we really come into the meat of the matter. Rather than just talking about the different things as it relates to LCI, I think this is going to be more so personalized to what our Lions are wondering. And so I think we should pay attention to this, and at the same time, everybody should be thinking of their questions that they want to ask at the same time. It's a very poignant question. Goes to see it first. What makes you a better candidate than your opponent?
I have 25 years of experience with the Lions. I have 32 years of experience as a business owner, independent financial advisor. I have been very successful in what I have done in the investment and insurance. So with the experience in Lionism and the experience in investments, insurance, and the finance, I bring huge value to our own state of Connecticut and the Lions International. I am also multicultural and bilingual. That's another value that I bring to the Lions International.
Work experience, Lions experience, primarily in the area of leadership development and succession planning, trying to work with our Lions to foster their growth, to lead them to the next step in their Lions career. My involvement with the global leadership team as coordinator for our district and our multiple district over the last 6 years has given me a chance to meet the regular club Lions from all over the state and to teach them, to educate them, and to guide them, and to mentor them about Lionism and how important it is to take that next step. Having the opportunity to teach our Lions how to take over for us when we're gone. Critically important, critically important. I've been asked to serve on faculty, through the Faculty Development Institute at LCI. Been asked to serve at the National Advanced Lions Leadership Institute. Been asked by LCI to serve on the Emerging Lions Leadership Institute. Been asked to serve on the Faculty Development Excellence Series and to be a webinar leader. Those are critical elements to getting involved in Lions and supporting and talking about what we do every day. And I think it's recognition of the good work that I've been fortunate to do with the leadership and guidance and mentoring that I've received over the years, which puts me in a better place to serve as your international director. And I think that my work, my career has also lent itself very well to this, as I mentioned before. Laser focused on the activities of the board, the communications that have to be done, the relationships that are built between executive leadership of our International Association and the other directors from around the world, and just being able to communicate with them and foster the spirit of Lionism everywhere we go.
The next question actually came from several people. So I think it's a question that definitely deserves our attention, and see what our candidates have to say. Of the past 5 international directors from Connecticut, 3 were from District 23B, 1 was from District 23C, and 1 from District 23A. Is it fair that the next Connecticut ID be from District 23B? I didn't.
Is it fair? It is fair if it's the right candidate. If the right candidate is chosen by multiple District 23, then yes, it should be from the same district. 1972, Joe Laughlin from Stamford served as international director. The last Lion from District 23A went on to become international president. Wonderful, great opportunity. He was, never met the man. I have to imagine he was a Lion's Lion. You know, did a great job, and we're gonna hold true to that. But we're trying to put the best candidate forward for our multiple district. And part of that is recognizing the talents that we have and what we offer to the Lions of our International Association, what we bring back, the way we represent ourselves, the way we speak in front of you, the way we're going to talk to the Lions around the country when we're asked to go visit various parts of the country and the world. To stand up and do what Lions Clubs International asks us to do above and beyond our service on the board, like I've done and teaching, being on faculty for certain institutes over the years. These are really, really critical steps that are going to be very important going forward. So we need to pick the best candidate, not whether they're from A, B, or C, not on a rotation. That is not going to work. We need to put our best foot forward because LCI has the ultimate say. They are not going to work with someone that is, they're going to wonder why we didn't send our best candidate forward. We may not have another opportunity for many, many years here in Connecticut with the number of international directors from the United States dropping. That's very, very easy to see. We need to make sure that we continue to grow with our Connecticut's here and take advantage of these opportunities because they are not going to present themselves as frequently in the past. We've been really blessed over the years to have PIDs that have served our International Association with distinction, and we want to keep that record going. International Association has looked and continues to look at Connecticut for leadership. We've brought things forward from our state that have gone on to become models and templates for programs that are run at the international level. A lot of people don't know that, but we have. You know, our Train the Trainer program was critical in the development of the Faculty Development Institute. You know, those kind of things are really important to share, and we know that the international community and the past international directors, and in fact the past international presidents, are constantly looking to Connecticut and New England, for that matter, for the best leadership to come out to represent us on the international board.
Lions International says, where there is a need, there is a lion. It doesn't say where there is a need, there is a District C or District A. When I was the council chair back in 2011, 2012, when I was calling our district governors, I never called them with the District A or District B. I said, Lynn Myers, our district governor, Lynn Myers. I didn't say Lynn Myers from District A. I always thought that we are all lions. We are here to make a difference in other people's lives. What difference does it make where we come from? When you're voting for, even with the politics, you're not voting one person over and over and over again, or you're picking somebody saying that, well, this person was the senator for three terms, now we should change him. The fact of the matter is, we vote for the person that we believe that serve our own state of Connecticut first, then the Lions International. I always believe that I represent Connecticut. Connecticut to me comes first. I am a resident of Connecticut. I am a lion of Connecticut. Then I would represent, once you elect me as the next international director, then I will represent the Lions International also. So I believe you look at the candidate and you vote for the candidate. You don't look what it says, what district they're coming from. In fact, if you want to look at it that way, District A had five international directors. I know the last one was a long time ago. But again, District C had only one. Opportunity should be for the person who really knows, who really wants something for you, wants to do something and give back something to your own state of Connecticut. I believe that candidate is the candidate is going to be picked by you. When you go to vote, I want to ask you to listen to your heart, vote SEAL. Together, we can see other possibilities.
Good morning. My question for the candidates is, in your alliance history, your relationship, your experience with the Lions of New England, your experience, your relationship with LCI, if you could share that experience, do you feel that that is a benefit for you in the future as an ID?
Well, when I was in Chicago for the convention, international convention, I did talk to many international directors, either past international directors or the current international directors. And many of them, they told me, I said, I need your help and I need your support. They all said, we are going to support you. We are going to help you. The first thing you need to do is you need to win your state of Connecticut. That's the first thing that they told me. I have had incredible experience with the Lionism, 25 years. I've been a district governor. During my term as district governor, I've gone to so many New England meetings and council meetings, and I have been a council chair. So I have seen so many international directors. They all know me. I've been a global membership team for 3 years. I have done a lot in the Lions of Connecticut, and I know a lot of international directors, and I respect them, and they have a great respect for me. And I think it is very important that to talk to them, to seek their advice, and to have them your support. But the key is, they are not going to help you now. Most of them, they say that we're going to stay out of it because we want you have somebody else who's running against you. So we would like you to win the state first. And when I win as an international director for our own state of Connecticut, then my goal is to go to the conventions, different conventions in New England. We have many conventions, state conventions in Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and I'm going to be there in October also. So that's when you build a relationship that already started many, many years ago. So I see a huge help after you finish and you win your own election in your own state of Connecticut.
Having a chance to serve on the New England Lions Council was a great, great thing that I had the opportunity to do. And meeting not only the sitting governors and upcoming vice district governors from each state, but sitting with the past international directors and the sitting international directors from our New England states is a tremendous, tremendous opportunity, learning experience for me, tremendous opportunity to take forward. I think that the mentoring and the guidance that they've given me over the years has been really critical in focusing what my areas of focus would be should I choose to pursue the position of international director. Speaking with representatives from Massachusetts and Rhode Island and Maine and other states in New England, they've always been very forthcoming with their advice, which you would expect. They like to share what's going on in the world. They are still very much connected with what's going on at our international association, so they do want to share it with people that are expressing an interest in taking a role on that they had. Beyond New England, and my opponent is exactly right, our international director, past international director community from New England will not endorse any individual until they receive the endorsement of Multiple District 23. Once that candidate comes forward, they will be all over us. They will want to be participating in our events, and they will want us to be participating in their conventions. There will be offers to come up and speak at midwinters. There will be offers to be keynote speakers at state events and large multiple district events throughout New England. Beyond that, the international community will have a chance to chime in because now, again, they will recognize that there is a candidate that's been sent forth from Connecticut for consideration by the International Board for the role of International Director. And we have built a lot of relationships over the years. I'm very proud of those relationships. I call a lot of current international directors and past international directors my very good friends, and I reach out to them regularly for their guidance. And they reach out to me to want to know what's going on in Connecticut, and I share with them the successes and sometimes the failures that we've had in some of the programs and activities that we've run. So the discussion, the dialogue is always there, and their passion for Lionism is not lost on me. I think we will take it to that next level if we are given that opportunity after November 4th. We will continue to work with them behind the scenes. Whatever they need us to do, whatever they ask us to do, we will do to make sure that the International Board accepts our candidate as the endorsed candidate and promotes them to serve on the International Board in 2018 in Las Vegas.
That's it for tonight. Come back next week for more of the ID Candidate Forum.
We hope you enjoyed our show this evening. Tune in next week for another Lying Around Connecticut with Carol and Harry. Good night.
Bye-bye.